Jack Hardy's consciousness returned with the sharp chemical smell of sanitation and hopelessness. A painful pulse hammered his skull, a reminder of the neural stun baton that had dropped him during the raid on the New Montana colony. The cold metal deck beneath him hummed with the vibration of massive engines. As his eyesight focused, he saw he was in a vast holding pen, surrounded by hundreds of miserable humanoid aliens. Their varied shapes, some with extra limbs, others with strange skin hues, all wore the same vacant, condemned expression. "Welcome to perdition, Terran," a rough voice rasped next to him. A gaunt alien with mottled green skin and 4 eyes blinked slowly at him. "Name's Dorn. You're the first human I've seen this far out." Jack strained his wrists against the glowing energy cuffs that bound him. Even after 3 days of starvation, his powerful frame was tense, his jaw set in defiance. "Where are we?" "Caraxes Trade Hub. The Virax bring all their cargo here for auction." Dorn's voice dropped. "The fortunate ones get sent to labor details. The others—" He left the thought unfinished. Guards patrolled the walkway above. They were massive reptilian beings in armored carapaces, carrying long shock batons. The Virax. Their reputation as slavers was infamous, their empire built on the subjugation of a dozen species. "On your feet for assessment, filth." A Virax commander bellowed, striding into the bay. The massive slaves stumbled to their feet. All except Jack, who remained seated, glaring. A guard stomped over, its baton crackling. "Get up." "Go to hell," Jack shot back. Staring directly into the guard's multifaceted eyes, the shock baton slammed into him, and agonizing electricity flooded his body. Jack clamped his teeth shut, refusing to scream. When the current ceased, he slowly and deliberately pushed himself to his full height, standing taller than most of the aliens and almost eye to eye with the Virax. "A defiant pet," the guard hissed. "The mindbreakers on Draco 4 will enjoy shattering you." The assessment continued, with guards shoving slaves into different groups. A new batch of captives was forced into the pen, terrified and disoriented. Among them was a small, slender female with skin the color of twilight and delicate features. She tripped and fell to her knees in front of a guard. "Move, trash!" The guard raised its baton to strike. Something inside Jack snapped. Maybe it was the terror in her eyes, or maybe 3 days of suppressed rage finally erupted. With a sudden bellow, Jack surged forward, swinging his cuffed hands like a club, catching the guard under its armored jaw. The Virax stumbled back, more stunned than injured. "Leave her alone," Jack yelled, positioning himself between the fallen alien and the guard. The bay went silent. Then chaos. Guards swarmed in, batons extended. The commander unholstered a plasma pistol. "This one dies now," he announced, his voice cold. "A lesson for the rest." Jack stood his ground, muscles coiled. If he was going, he'd take a few of the bastards with him. The commander aimed his weapon. Suddenly, the massive bay doors at the far end of the hall hissed open. The atmosphere in the room changed instantly. Guards snapped to attention. The commander quickly holstered his pistol and bowed low. A figure emerged through the doorway that froze Jack in place. She was a humanoid female with perfect pale azure skin, like glazed porcelain, adorned with faint patterns that resembled frost on a window. Her hair fell to her waist, a straight, shimmering fall of silver white that seemed to hold its own faint, pulsing light. Her eyes were large and almond-shaped, accented with bold, dark makeup, and they scanned the room with an icy confidence. She was dressed in a sophisticated, form-fitting black gown with a deep, daring neckline. A glittering brooch was pinned at her throat. In her slender arms, she held a small creature that Jack recognized with a jolt, an Earth-native Pomeranian dog, its fluffy coat perfectly groomed. "Lady Neria," the commander stand. "We were not aware of your visit." Her voice, when she spoke, was melodic but as cold as deep space. I travel where I wish, Commander Vox. Her gaze swept the room and then locked onto Jack. What commotion interrupts my procurement? Merely correcting an unruly slave, my lady. This human assaulted a guard. She glided toward the crowd, which parted before her like water. The small dog in her arms gave an excited yap in Jack's direction. Hush, Pixel, she commanded softly, then studied Jack with open curiosity. A human. So far from your home sphere. Her eyes narrowed. Why did you strike the guard? Jack met her gaze without looking away. He was going to hurt someone who couldn't fight back. A flicker of something surprise, maybe respect, crossed her flawless features. Fascinating. Your species is known for its volatility. She turned to the commander. I am acquiring this one. My lady, this specimen is non-compliant, rebellious, and dangerous. Was I soliciting your assessment, Commander? Her tone could have frozen methane. The commander bowed again. No, Lady Neria, as you command. I will have him prepared and sent to your transport. She turned, then paused. And the female he was protecting. I will acquire also. As she glided away, the little dog looked over her shoulder, its pink tongue lolling in what almost looked like a grin. Within an hour, Jack was on a luxurious private shuttle, his cuffs removed. He sat across from the enigmatic Lady Neria. The cabin was decorated with authentic Earth artifacts, a Persian rug, Renaissance art, and even a vintage turntable. Welcome to your new existence. Human, she said, stroking the dog in her lap. I am Lady Neria of House Thesian. You now belong to me. Jack leaned forward, his eyes fixed on hers. My name is Jack Hardy, and I don't belong to anyone. A slight smile graced her perfect lips. We shall see about that. The flight to Neria's estate was short. Jack watched his new owner. She sat with impeccable posture, stroking the Pomeranian. The dog watched Jack with open curiosity. Pixel seems to favor you, Neria remarked, breaking the silence. He is rarely so accepting of my acquisitions. Is that what I am? An acquisition? Jack asked, his tone level, masking the anger beneath. Amusement flickered in her eyes. For the moment, she tilted her head. You are different from the others. Most are broken by the Virax. You smolder. The shuttle descended toward a massive estate in a valley of purple-leafed flora. The villa was a marvel of sweeping, pale stone and gleaming metal, surrounded by perfect gardens. As they landed, Jack saw other humanoids working on the grounds. Welcome to my sanctuary, Neria said. Two servants with ridged foreheads and amber skin bowed. Lady Neria, your chambers are ready. Excellent. This is Jack Hardy. He is to be given the blue suite in the east wing. She handed Pixel to a servant. Take him for his walk. Jack was led into the villa's grand entrance hall and stopped dead. The chamber was a breathtaking gallery of Terran history. Antique furniture, priceless art, and display cases holding everything from vintage timepieces to baseball cards. A Steinway grand piano sat in one corner. Impressed? A voice asked. A human woman in her 30s, with dark hair and olive skin, approached him. I'm Elena. Welcome to the collection. You're human, Jack stated, relief washing over him. Last I checked, she said with a wry smile. There are 4 of us. Well, 5 now. Lady Neria has a fascination with our kind. She collects us. Collects us? In a manner of speaking, Elena shrugged. It's not as bad as it sounds. Follow me. As they walked, she explained in a low voice, Neria has collected Earth items for decades. We're her newest interest. She treats us well. Comfortable rooms, good food, freedom of the estate. Better than most, but we're still prisoners, Jack said. Technically. But the alternatives? She gestured up. I was on a Virax mining ship before she bought me. This is paradise in comparison. The blue suite was a luxury apartment, larger than his home on New Montana, decorated in mid-century modern Earth style. "Dinner is at local Sunset," Elena said. "Neria prefers us all to attend." "And Jack?" "A warning. Don't try to escape. The perimeter security is lethal. Javier found that out the hard way." "Javier?" "There were 5 of us. Now 4. After a real water shower, Jack found a wardrobe filled with Earth clothes in his size. He chose simple black trousers and a gray shirt. His suite opened onto a private terrace overlooking the mountains. For a gilded cage, it was stunning. At sunset, a servant led him to the dining room. Elena was there, along with an older man with a military bearing and a young, resentful-looking man. "The new acquisition," the older man said, standing to offer a hand. "Colonel Thomas Blackwood, retired, Earth Defense Force. Jack Hardy, New Montana Colony. Kip Simon," the young man muttered. "Ex-pilot, current paperweight." The doors opened, and Neria entered. She had changed into a flowing gown of midnight blue. The effect was breathtaking. "I see you've met my other human guests," she said, taking her seat. "Are your accommodations acceptable?" "Your gilded cage is impressive," Jack replied. Blackwood shot him a warning look. Neria, however, laughed a sound like crystal chimes. "How refreshingly candid. Most beings are too terrified to speak so boldly." "I'm not most beings. No, you are not." Her gaze lingered on him. During the meal, a fusion of Earth and alien foods, Jack observed the others. Blackwood was respectful but cautious. Elena was friendly but guarded. Kip was openly bitter. "Tell me, Jack," Neria said. "What was your function on your colony?" "Perhaps as something more." Her voice was a whisper. She was close enough now that he could smell her perfume, like vanilla and starlight. "I'm not a pet," he said, though his voice was unsteady. "No," she agreed, her hand rising to touch his cheek. "You are definitely not that." Life at Neria's estate settled into a strange routine. Mornings, Jack explored, discreetly mapping security despite Elena's warning. Colonel Blackwood sometimes joined him. "Perimeter is layered," the colonel noted on one walk, his military eye assessing. "Motion sensors, plasma turrets." Javier didn't even get close. "You've been here the longest," Jack said. "Why haven't you tried to leave?" Blackwood's weathered face tightened. "What makes you think I haven't?" "I've made 3 attempts. All failed. After the last one, Neria showed me something. It changed my perspective." Before Jack could ask more, an alarm chimed. "Visitor protocol," Blackwood said, his tone grim. "Back to the house. Now." They found Elena and Kip in the grand hall, looking nervous. "What is it?" Jack asked. "Lord Drax," Elena whispered. "He's a collector, like Neria, but different. He sees humans as specimens, not art." Neria entered, her usual confidence strained. She was in formal robes, her luminous hair intricately styled. "My humans," she said. "Lord Drax of House Vicarian is arriving. You will be present. You will be silent." Her eyes found Jack. "Especially you." The visitor, Lord Drax, was a tall, skeletal figure. His skin was the color of volcanic ash, and his eyes were like chips of polished black obsidian. 4 armed guards flanked him. "Lady Neria," Drax's voice was like gravel. "A pleasure to see the last scion of House Thesian." "Lord Drax," she replied coolly. "What brings you here unannounced?" His black eyes scanned the room, stopping on the humans. "I heard rumors of your newest procurement, a male human of unusual spirit." Drax's gaze assessed Jack like a piece of meat. The rumors were true. A magnificent specimen. Strong, defiant. "I am prepared to offer substantial compensation for him." Neria's face was impassive stone. "He is not available for purchase." Everything has a price, Lady Neria. Drax stepped closer to Jack. Humans fascinate me. My scientific compound has made incredible breakthroughs via vivisection and biological study. Jack tensed, but Neria's warning glance kept him still. 3 million credits, Drax offered. As I stated, he is not available. Neria's tone hardened. Now, if we are done admiring my collection, perhaps we can discuss your actual purpose? The Galactic Council meeting is soon. Drax's thin lips curled. Direct, as always. Very well. The vote on the Terran exclusion zone. Your opposition is problematic. Earth and its colonies deserve partnership, not quarantine, Neria stated. Humans are a plague. Drax hissed. Their expansion is a threat. Their unpredictability is a cancer. Their innovation is a boon, Neria countered. My late bonded mate believed ... Your bonded mate was an idiot. Drax cut her off. His obsession with humanity resulted in his death. A lesson you seem intent on ignoring. The temperature in the room plunged. Neria's composure fractured, revealing a flash of raw pain. My offer for the human remains, Drax said, shifting tactics. Consider it. Your standing on the council is weak. You need allies. After Drax left, Neria dismissed the others, but asked Jack to join her in her private garden, a sanctuary filled with earth roses, oaks, and bluegrass. You have questions, she stated. A few thousand, Jack said. Starting with, what was that? She sighed. Politics. Drax leads a faction that wants humanity quarantined. The Terran exclusion zone. The council votes soon. And your husband? Karth, she said, pain in her voice. He was a specialist in alien cultures. He believed humans were the future. Their adaptability, their drive. He admired them. She touched a rose. 10 years ago, he traveled to a human colony, seeking official first contact. His ship was obliterated. The report blamed human defenses. I have always believed Drax was responsible. So this collection, it was his. I continued it in his memory. But over time, she turned to Jack, her usual mask of command gone, replaced by vulnerability. I developed his fascination. The setting sun lit her, making her pale blue skin glow. Jack felt that now familiar pull. Drax will be back, she said softly. His offer was a threat. If I oppose him on the exclusion zone, he will find a way to ruin me. Taking you would be a personal and political trophy. I'm not going anywhere, Jack said, the words surprising him with their sincerity. Her eyes searched his. Why? You've been plotting your exit since the moment you arrived. He stepped closer. Maybe I found a reason to stay. The air between them crackled. Her cool hand rose to his face, tracing his jaw. Humans are so warm, she murmured. So alive. The moment their mouths touched, it was like an electrical charge. Her lips were cool, then warmed instantly against his. Her glowing hair shrouded them, a curtain of pure light as the kiss deepened. Becoming desperate and hungry. Later, in her private chambers, a space no other human had ever seen, they explored their differences. Her skin pulsed with a faint patterned light in the dark, brightening with her arousal. She marveled at his heat, the solid power of his muscles, while he traced the ethereal lines of her body. Their union was more than just physical. It was a profound connection, a bridge built between two vastly different beings. Afterward, lying entangled, Neria whispered, Thesians do not bond casually. When we choose a partner, it is for all our days. Is that a proposal? Jack asked, half joking. It is a warning, she replied softly. What I feel for you. It complicates everything. He couldn't even answer before a violent detonation shook the villa, the shockwave shattering the windows of the chamber. Neria was on her feet in an instant, her body glowing brighter. We are under attack. Alarms shrieked as Jack and Neria dressed. Her security system projected holo displays, showing breaches along the perimeter. "Drax," Neria said, her voice tight. She twisted the brooch at her throat, and it shifted into a sleek energy weapon. "This is too clumsy for him, unless ... He's desperate," Jack finished, grabbing a heavy metal sculpture as a weapon. "Or he had help from the inside." The entryway to her suite exploded inward. Colonel Blackwood was framed in the doorway, holding a projectile rifle. "My lady, we must evacuate. They've breached the main hall." They fled through hidden passages. The sounds of combat energy blasts, shattering artifacts, echoed through the villa. "Elena and Kip are in the safe room," Blackwood reported as they descended a staircase. "With your most valuable Terran pieces," he added to Neria. They emerged in a hidden command center. "Status!" Neria commanded, instantly the leader. "20 intruders, my lady," an officer replied. "Vicarian insignia. They're heading straight for the human quarters." "They're here for us," Jack said. Neria's face hardened. "Activate Protocol Sundown. No one takes what is mine." Defensive drones deployed from hidden panels, intercepting the intruders. "Where is Lisa?" Jack asked suddenly, remembering the alien woman he'd saved. Neria and Blackwood exchanged a look. "The Irian female?" "She's in the gardens. Breach in Sector 7. An officer yelled. "Internal defenses are being bypassed." The monitor showed a slim form moving through the halls, deactivating security. It was Lisa, her fragile features now a mask of cold resolve. "She's helping them," Jack said, his voice grim. "It was too convenient." "Her rescue. Bring her to me." "Alive," Neria ordered. "I'll go," Jack volunteered. "She knows me." Neria grabbed his arm. "This is not your fight." "It became my fight the moment they interrupted us," he replied, a half smile earning him a flash of passion in her eyes. Blackwood tossed him an energy pistol. "Standard EDF issue. Figured you'd know how to use it." Jack found Lisa in Neria's study, ransacking the desk. "Jack," she said, startled. "Working for Drax, Lisa?" he asked, weapon low. Her features hardened. "You don't understand." "Then explain." "Neria saved you." "Saved me?" Lisa laughed, a bitter sound. "She acquired me as a theatrical tool. The powerful lady saving the pitiful slave. It was all a performance designed for you. Even if it was, it doesn't justify this." "My people," Lisa spat, "were allies of the Thesians. When the Virax invaded our world, we pleaded for aid. Neria's father pledged his support and then betrayed us to save a trade deal. Millions died. My family died. This is revenge. Justice." She corrected. "Drax promised to restore Irian sovereignty if I helped him secure Neria's humans. And you believed him? The man who vivisects sentient beings." Doubt crossed her face. "I have no choice." "There's always a choice," Jack said, stepping closer. "Neria isn't her father." He thought he'd reached her. Then her hand moved, revealing a small device. "I am sorry, Jack." She pressed a button. Agony exploded in his head as a high-frequency pulse hit him. He staggered, dropping the pistol. Through blurred vision, he saw her retrieve a data crystal from the desk. He lunged, tackling her. They grappled, Lisa surprisingly strong. "Drax is using you." He grunted. The door flew open. Neria stood there, weapon raised, her hair blazing. "Enough." Lisa froze. "Lady Neria, how disappointing." "The attack has failed," Neria said coldly. "Your allies are dead or captured." "There will be others," Lisa defied her. "Your obsession with humans has made you weak." Neria's eyes flicked to Jack, who had picked up the data crystal. "What did she take?" "Research data," he guessed. "Your husband's work. Drax has wanted Karth's research for years, Neria realized. The attack, the offer for you. All of it was a distraction. Not entirely, Lisa sneered. Lord Drax is very interested in your human pet. Especially after learning how ... intimately ... You've been studying human physiology. Neria's hand trembled. Jack moved to her side, brushing her fingers in support. Take her to containment, Neria ordered security. Later, in a hidden lab, Neria examined the crystal. It's Karth's research, she confirmed. He was studying human genetic adaptability. She brought up a holodisplay. 2 DNA strands, 1 Thesian, 1 human. Look, they're compatible. Compatible? More than compatible, Neria said, her voice intense. Karth believed human DNA was the key to our species' survival. She explained that the Thesians, for all their beauty, were dying a genetic bottleneck from centuries of manipulation. Our birth rates are non-existent. We are facing extinction. Karth believed human adaptability could stabilize our genome. He was working on a hybridization process when he died. And you continued his work, Jack realized. The collection ... At first, yes. But it became more than that. I grew to admire your species. Your art, your passion. And then you. Drax wants this research, Neria continued. His faction believes in genetic purity. The idea of a human Thesian hybrid is a threat to their power. But Lisa's involvement. In the holding cell, they confronted Lisa again. Why Drax? Neria demanded. Politics, Lisa scoffed. No, Jack said, your strength when we fought. It wasn't normal. Neria's eyes widened. Show us your arm. Lisa reluctantly rolled up her sleeve, revealing faint surgical scars. What did he do to you? Neria whispered. He improved me, Lisa said, her smile bitter. Drax has been experimenting with genetic augmentation, using human DNA as the key component. Your adaptability makes the modifications stable. I am one of his successes. He's creating soldiers, Jack realized. And he needs regular treatments, Lisa's voice hardened. Without them, the modifications break down, painfully. She looked at them. He's not just building an army. He's harvesting humans. A colony transport that vanished 3 months ago? He has them. Over 200 humans in stasis ready for processing. An alarm cut Neria off. A security officer's face appeared. My lady. Long-range sensors show multiple Vicarian vessels approaching. They're jamming all communications. How long? 2 hours maximum. Evacuation, Neria ordered. Priority cargo only. She turned to Jack. We have to get this data and Lisa's testimony to the Galactic Council. They loaded Neria's fastest interstellar yacht. The research, the samples, the other humans, and a restrained Lisa. As they prepared for launch, Jack found Neria in her cabin. You didn't know, he said gently. I should have, she whispered, her luminous hair dimmed with distress. My fascination was academic. His is monstrous. Jack pulled her close. We'll stop him. She looked up at him. If we succeed, it changes everything. For humans. For Thesians. For us. Good, he said, and kissed her as the yacht lifted off. Alarms blared again. My lady, the pilot's voice was tense. We have incoming vessels. They've cut off our route to the Council. The view screen filled with warships. Drax, Neria said grimly. He had forces waiting in orbit. We have no exit, Kip reported from the tactical station. 6 Vicarian warships blocking all standard routes. They won't destroy us, Neria said. Drax wants the research, and us alive. Small comfort, Jack muttered. There is another option, Colonel Blackwood said. All eyes turned to him. I possess a secure, high-priority beacon to the Earth Defense Force. You're a spy, Neria stated. Intelligence officer, Blackwood corrected. And right now, I'm our only chance. There's an EDF battle group 2 hours out. 2 hours we don't have, Jack said. I can buy you those hours, Lisa spoke up. Everyone stared. Drax's ships. Their shield harmonics have a flaw. I know the frequencies. Why help us? Neria demanded. Because without your research, I'll die anyway when my augmentations fail, Lisa said. And I've seen his labs. Colonel, Neria ordered, send your signal. Lisa, to tactical. Drax's face appeared on the screen, triumphant. Lady Neria, how disappointing. Fleeing like a common criminal. Lord Drax, Neria replied, her voice ice. Resorting to piracy like a common thug. Ah, the human speaks, Drax mocked Jack. Such spirit. I look forward to studying that in my lab. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded. The transmission cut. What followed was a desperate fight. With Lisa's frequencies, Neria's yacht, though a luxury vessel, managed to cripple 2 cruisers. But the return fire was too much. A massive impact threw them all to the deck. Engines offline. Kip yelled. We're dead in space. A boarding shuttle appeared on screen. Prepare for boarders, Neria commanded, her brooch flaring into a weapon. We need to hold them, Jack said, setting up a defensive choke point in the main corridor. As they waited, he pulled Neria aside. If this goes badly ... She silenced him with a kiss. It won't. Humans are stubborn about survival. It's a quality I admire. The next 30 minutes were brutal chaos. Drax's augmented soldiers stormed the ship. Jack, Neria, Blackwood, Kip, and even Lisa fought side by side. Falling back to the engine room for a last stand, Drax himself appeared. How touching, he mocked. The noble lady and her pet humans. You've lost, Drax. Neria defied him. The EDF knows everything. They're coming. Drax laughed. Humans? What threat are they? A primitive, isolated race. You'd be surprised, Jack said, standing tall despite his injuries. I look forward to finding out, Drax said. Now the data, or I start removing limbs. Before he could act, a new alarm shrieked. Multiple ships, Kip breathed, staring at a scanner. Dozens ... They're not Vicarian. The comms crackled. A confident, human voice filled the room. Attention, alien vessel. This is Admiral Simon of the Earth Defense Force. We have you surrounded. Stand down immediately or be destroyed. Kip looked up, a wild grin spreading across his face. That's my dad. ... 6 months later, Jack stood on the observation deck of the Galactic Council station, watching Earth rise. Still admiring the view? Neria's voice came from behind him. She joined him, her hand finding his. The capture of Drax had forced humanity onto the galactic stage. Today, Earth was formally joining the Council. The ceremony begins in an hour. She reminded him, the real work was just beginning. The joint human-Thesian research project. Led by them, to save her species. After the ceremony, they would also publicly announce their intention to become the first official human-Thesian bonded pair. Are you nervous? She asked. A little, he admitted. But my people fear extinction more. Our union gives them hope. And you? Jack asked. Is it just hope you feel? Her luminous eyes, once so icy, were warm. You know better than that. In the briefing room, Admiral Seaman, Kip's father. Colonel Blackwood, now head of interspecies intelligence. Alina, now Earth's cultural attach. And Kip, commander of a joint human-alien crew, were waiting. Lisa also entered, her augmentation stabilized by the new research dot. As the others filed out, Jack stopped Neria. A human tradition, he said, pulling out a small box. Inside was a platinum ring, inlaid with fragments that glowed just like her hair. It's beautiful, she whispered. I have something for you, she replied, pulling out her brooch. It has been in my family for generations. Now it is yours. Their fingers touched, the familiar spark arcing between them. Tonight, she murmured. After the politics, I want you to myself. I've arranged a surprise, he promised. Later after the historic session, Jack took Neria to a private shuttle. Where are we going? You collected Earth for years, he said, setting a course. But you've never experienced it. They landed on a remote mountainside on Earth. As the door opened, Neria gasped. A pristine lake reflected the sunset. Welcome to Earth, Jack said.